Ęgbę, and welcome to another episode of Talking Ifá I with me, Babalawo Salako. In today's episode, the topic is what to expect from your Babalawo. Okay, so I hear a lot going on today. There's a lot of stuff going on where people are saying they've been scammed by Babalawos. But let me say this, spiritual scams do exist. And people having their concerns and fears of getting scammed and not wanting to get scammed is also valid. But what I want to talk about today is the other side of the story. You know, the part where there's a percentage of those people who feel they've been scammed that I think the concept of unrealistic expectations may play a role in that. I'm not saying that's what everybody, but there's a percentage that I believe that plays a role. But before we get started, please like, share, and subscribe, and continue to share our videos for people so we can continue to grow. We greatly appreciate it. If you have any comments or suggestions, please put them in the comments below. With that being said, let's talk. Greetings, I'm Babalawo Salako. I was initiated as a priest of Ifá and Obatala in Nigeria in 2006, and I've been practicing the Ifá Orisha religion for over 30 years now. My mission is simple, to help those who are new to the religion or lost in the religion. So if that's you, then buckle up and join me. This is Talking Ifá. So let's get started. Now I have my trusty outline today because I didn't want to miss any points that I wanted to make, but hopefully that doesn't distract you, so let's go with it. So let's get started. The first thing, what I said, unrealistic expectations. So what does it say here? It says, expecting immediate, effortless resolution to lifelong problems. Okay, so think about it this way. A Babalawo, compare them to a doctor, a medical doctor, here, especially here in the United States. So if you go to the medical doctor, do you expect your illness to be cured right away? What'll happen if you go where you have an illness, the doctor examines you, they prescribe medication most of the time, and they say, okay, take this for 14 days or 21 days, and then come back and see me and we'll see how you're doing, etc. It's a process, right? So when you go to a Babalawo, that's normally a spiritual illness or issue going on with you, or at least the Babalawos, that's what they're trying to find out. You may suspect it's spiritual, that's why you're going to a Babalawo, okay? So, again, let's go back to those three things. Well, let me clarify the three things I want to talk about. So, the reality. So what do we have here? What is the reality what you should expect, or what Ifá does when you come? So, number one, Ifá is a system of alignment. So, one purpose of Ifá is to get you on alignment with the path that you chose before you were born, that is stored in your Ori. The good things that you have in your life stored in your Ori, that right there is one of the main purposes of Ifá divination. Two, Ifá deals with character development, or Iwapwele. Iwapwele and Iwapwele ethics are all through Ifá, all through the Odu, the essays. There are lessons based on Iwapwele. Ifá says, if you get wealth without character, then it's worthless, or you will lose it. Right? If you get power without character, you become dangerous, right? So character is very important in Ifá. So the third thing, Ifá assists gradual healing, okay? Gradual healing, not immediate, gradual healing. Now, by healing, like I said, we think about a medical doctor and you physically ill. But in Ifa, we're dealing with spirit, and we're talking about spiritual illnesses that we may diagnose. What is a spiritual illness? Well, you may be being attacked by spirits. You know, there could be all kinds of different types of spirits that are attacking you, or they might be blocking your blessings. They may be causing you to be ill. The Ajogun may be after you. Okay, there's all kinds of different types of things. That's what a Babalawo is there to identify. But we deal with spiritual issues or spiritual illnesses, okay? So, what's the danger, the main danger, when a person has unrealistic expectations and they go to a Babalawo? Well, here it says overnight change or overnight solution failing causes anxious clients to cry scam. So sometimes people are saying, well, wait a minute, I went to a Babalawo and I got an Ęgbę and I did the divination in Ęgbę, and then this didn't happen for me, they scammed me, or bad things started happening to me after I got the Ęgbę. So what they did wasn't valid, it didn't work. So again, going back here to unreasonable expectations is that you feel like the issue is going to be solved overnight, okay? All right, so let's go on to section 2, Ęgbę versus extortion. So what is an Ęgbę versus you feel like you're being extorted? So what is an unreasonable expectation around that? Belief that paying for Ęgbę guarantees 100% specific outcome on a strict human timeline that you created, okay? So you go get Ęgbę, you think it's gonna just 100% clear up your issue right away, and you know what I mean? That's unrealistic expectation. What is a reasonable expectation? Ęgbę shifts energy and opens doors, but human effort is still required, okay? So that's a reasonable expectation. You go get the divination and the Ęgbę, the energy in your life should shift, it should change, right? And it can help open doors for you. Does it mean they're going to open them on the same day? No. It may be some time before they open them, but that's one of the things that Ęgbę does. So how can you spot the difference between if you believe that the Ęgbę is helping you versus you believe that the Babalawo is just trying to extort money out of you? Okay, so number one, it takes real work on your part, right? And on the Babalawo's part, the Babalawo should provide clear information to you up front about what the costs may be from working with them. Now, the difficult part to that is the Babalawo doesn't know exactly what things are going to cost because they haven't completed the divination. Once they do the divination and an Odu is revealed, and then they prescribe the Ęgbę, they find out what entities want something, then, and what they want, then they can determine an actual cost. But up front, they normally have a range. They can say, okay, normally I'm doing this work and I charge, the total cost between this amount and that amount. Okay, 300 to 500 or 500 to 700 or whatever they say the average is for them. Okay, so but for you as a client, you have a reasonable expectation that they're going to give you some information up front. When can that be a possible scam? So what it says here: predatory, escalating demands for more money under threats of curses or death. So if you deal with a Babalawo and you're new and you go, and then you feel they're predatory, they're trying to dictate what you have to do, they're using fear, trying to scare you, if you don't do this, blah, blah, blah. Those are some signs. Now, does fear ever come into the picture? Yes, because we're dealing with spirits. Some are mean and evil spirits, some are not. So when you go and get a divination, it could come up, death. Now, every time death comes up is not a reason to be fear. It's just letting you know there's danger around, and Ifa is there to help you and protect you from it, okay? But there's certain situations that they may, they should never pressure you, but it may come up. Now, what comes up sometimes is it may come up in divination that this person needs to get initiated as soon as possible to save their life and protect their life, okay? That does occur, and that can cause you to have fear. But after they tell you that, they should not be pressuring you and calling you every other day and texting you saying, you better hurry up and get this money so we can do this. That once they give you the information, then that's on you to do it, right? So if they're pressuring you about this, that, and the other, or you need to come to your Ęgbę, then that's a sign that you need to be a little cautious or leery of. Section 3, the fear trap and looking for a reason phenomena. Okay, so what it says here, on the client point of view, the psychology of a hyper-vigilant client looking for red flags. When you go looking for trouble, they say if you're looking for trouble, you're usually going to find it. So if you just go in and you're looking at every little thing the Babalawo is doing, and you're saying, okay, you might be trying to scam me or this, that, and the other, that can cross a line to become paranoia. And then even if there's nothing there, you may start believing it's there and you see it's there. And then, so that right there is one thing. Another thing, how a lack of patience leads to false accusations. Now, there's many times, a lot of us suffer from impatience. Now, when we talk about Iwa in character, that's why I say that comes in Ifa. It may come out that you're an impatient person. Patience is one of the most important parts of Iwa. Ifa says patience is the father of character, okay? So if you're impatient, then you may be, with a good Babalawo, and this Babalawo is trying to help you and they can help you if you have patience and you look at it over time. But if you're impatient, then you might immediately cut them off. Oh, well, I got a divination from them and they wanted me to do this Ęgbę and I think it costs too much, or I did the Ęgbę and it's not working for me right away, so let me go find another one and another one. And then, a friend of mine calls that Babalawo hopping or priest hopping. You jump from this one to this one to this one. It's not to say that you have to stay with the first person that you go to and work with, but try not to get in the habit of jumping, because most of the time when people go to 4 and 5 different Babalawos, they usually have unrealistic expectations, so they're not satisfied with anything they do. And another thing they can hear says the damage. The fear that a client may have, this fear causes to the sacred, trust-based relationship between a client and a Babalawo causes damage, right? So you may be with a person who really can't help you, right? But you have that fear, and now you don't trust them for no good reason. They haven't done anything to lose your trust, but you just don't trust them. And so then that Babalawo, you get an attitude or you don't want to deal with them, then they, you could have benefited. Or if you give them too much of a hard time and you don't respect them, because it's supposed to be mutual respect both ways, they may not want to work with you either. Okay, so Section 4. What reasonable expectations actually look like? What do they look like? The first thing here is, what should you expect from your Babalawo? Number 1, you should expect honesty. Even when Ifa delivers a hard or uncomfortable truth, because sometimes Ifa might come up and the Babalawo says, oh, well, Iku or death came up for you, or this, that, or the other. That's uncomfortable for the Babalawo to tell you that, because they know that may cause fear. But if they're honest with you, that's a good sign. Expecting professionalism. If the Babalawo respects your boundaries, okay? If you have boundaries, then they should respect those. 3, expecting guidance, not a puppet master who controls your life or makes choices for you. Okay, that's another one. If you go to a Babalawo, or you may go to an Ile, a house or a temple, and you're thinking about joining, if you're seeing somebody who wants to control you like a puppet master, and you need to kind of be leery. That's not a good sign. So, let me summarize what I've said so far. Protecting yourself from real scams requires education, not paranoia. Educate yourself. Educate on what you should expect, right? What you should expect when you go get a divination for the first time or second time, okay? So that you don't have unrealistic expectations. But if you do your research and kind of know what to expect, then you'll fare a lot better, okay? But this is the main thing here. When you come, this is a spiritual healing and development process. It is not an immediate process. It takes time, like it says here. True spiritual growth takes time. Character development and mutual respect, okay? There's an essay or verse in Ęgbę that says, bit by bit, we eat the head of a rat. Bit by bit, we eat the head of a fish, okay? It's saying, and in that verse, it was talking about someone, and it said, in this case, the father wanted to achieve success around the whole world immediately. This person was told by the diviners, do not try to expect to accomplish everything right away, because you're setting yourself up for failure. You should go bit by bit by bit, a little bit at a time, and be patient, and success will come to you. So the person listened to their Babalawo, they completed their Ęgbę, and they started, their expectations changed to bit by bit, and everything worked out and they became successful. It's a long process, a lifelong process. When you get a relationship with the Babalawo, you want a lifelong relationship where you're growing together, and the Babalawo is helping you grow. Because again, there's a lot of stuff out there. There's palm reading and tarot cards and all these other things. But in Ifa, that's, fortune telling. That's not what Ifa divination is about. I said the 3 up front. It's to get you back in alignment, because, okay, so let me say that again. I said it many times, but if this is your first time seeing me, then I need to explain that. Before we're born, we all choose our Ori, and in our Ori are the good things we want to achieve in life, and we want to go on a path to achieve those things. But before we're born, we go to the tree of forgetfulness when we're in Orong, and then we forget what we chose. Ifa divination is here regularly through our life because Rumula was there in the room when we chose our Ori, so Rumula, Ifa Rumula knows what we chose. So you go to Ifa divination and it's going to say, okay, Ifa already knows where you need to go, so it says, okay, in this situation you need to go this way, or you need to go right or left, or you need not to do this, or you need to do this, or suggest that you should do that to help you on your path. Ifa number 2 on the list is facilitating your character development because they go hand in hand. And Ifa, a person who's practicing bad character, Ifa says all of your gains are only temporary, right? It's saying you'll lose them. It says if you make money, a lot of money, but you are practicing or lack character, your money belongs to someone else. If you have a good wife or husband, but you are practicing and exhibiting bad character, your wife or husband belongs to someone else. If you have children and you're treating them with bad character, your children belong to someone else. Ifa is saying character is so important. See, the good things, when I say those things, money, that might have been something we wanted to achieve in our Ori, but we can't keep it if we're exhibiting bad character. Okay, so our Ori, our character, and then Ifa helps us with healing, spiritual healing, different situations to grow, and there may be Ifa medicine prescribed sometimes. Those are some of the 3 primary focuses of Ifa divination. It's not that you can't come for specific things like, oh, I'm trying to start this business or I'm trying to get this job. You can go for divination and do Ęgbę to help you there. You know, different things, illnesses, etc. There's a lot of different things you could come to Ifa for, but at the end of the day, whatever you're coming for, Ifa is taking into consideration what you chose in your Ori, what character issues you need to overcome. Because remember, the Babalawo is not going to know these things. When you come to a Babalawo the first time, the Babalawo is helping you like if you go to a doctor's office. You go to the doctor's office, the doctor sits and listens to you, they try to help you and give you a prescription, then you leave and they go on to the next patient. You don't expect a doctor to be calling you every other day and checking on you, and you're calling them every few minutes and they're answering and they can talk to you all the time. So when you go to a Babalawo, you have to, pay your fee and that sort of stuff, but you can't expect them to always be available for you when you're a client. Now, I want to say just a client. Clients are very important. You're a client, not a godchild. So therefore, a godchild they're going to invest more time in. So with that being said, I hope you got something out of this today. And if you have any other questions, you can always reach out to me. My contact information is in the description below each video. With that being said, I pray that everyone has a blessed and prosperous rest of your day. May Ifa and the Ashe and Ire always be with you. Ashe, 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 O, Ire, O, Odabo.